Hi everyone and welcome to edition 59, almost the Christmas edition of TOOP TV. Well, many are winding down at this time of the year, but not in real estate. It has been absolutely frantic, and today's show hopefully will show just how much activity there is. We also go down during the show and look at a property in Lockleys as SA's finest, and in no way could this not be one of the best houses in South Australia. It is incredible. Tennis court, indoor atrium type area. It's just the most amazing house. You'll love it. We've got point number 7 on the 10-point sellers checklist. So if you're looking at selling either between now and Christmas and the new year, but potentially in the new year, make sure you look at the sellers 10-point checklist, number 7 today. And answering all of your real estate queries, as always, at the end of the show. We look forward to it. We are live, we're interactive, so enjoy the show. Let's get started. Great news about no interest rate rises, so Christmas, bring it on. And we'll be talking about interest rates a lot later in the show. We'll also be talking to Wendy Higgins from Mortgage Choice, who is going to let us know how to find the cheapest money, the easiest way, and how to get help in that area, and a lot of information for those of you with mortgages or about to get one. But now, for the inside story on real estate next year in 2011, let's go look at it.
There must be something in the air, as while this unseasonably wet summer baffles us all, so too does the number of houses on the market at the moment. According to RP data, there's currently 23% more homes available for sale than there was a year ago. The reason for this build-up of properties is a higher than normal number of homes being added to the market when market activity is slowing. With these conditions carrying over into 2011, plus some concerns held by the public, it will make for an interesting year in real estate.
Well, I'm in the industry, so I'm in finance, but I'm just finding it is very slow at the moment. I think we've hit the affordability maximum at the moment, so I think just affordability is the main factor.
Anything that goes downwards are going to be properties that were probably purchased a few years ago that were overpriced or overbought at that time. And we're just not going to have the boom that we've had over the last 10 years. It just can't keep on going like that.
Real estate experts believe interest rates will be the key variable, leading to a weaker market next year as it absorbs the November near double rate hike, and with predictions rates will increase further in 2011. But there is some good news for homeowners, as the Reserve Bank is projecting strong household income growth in the years ahead, which is likely to lead to higher home values.
Well, Elise with a great little report on the market, and we'll expand on that, and we've got the right person to do that. A person that's been holidaying, but actually half working as well in all over the world. We're going to hear all about what's happening around the globe, and then we're going to come back to Australia, then back to South Australia, and then into property. This is going to be a really interesting session. The CEO of Business SA, Mr. Peter Vaughan.
G'day, Anthony.
Peter, you've been out of circulation, but you've been touring the world. What's going on, mate?
Bit of tourism, which was nice, but also looking at like organisations to mine in the UK and in America in particular. And it's a very interesting global world out there, and it makes you very glad that you're in Australia and you're in South Australia for that matter, because things are very tough. In the UK, just announced $113 billion worth of budget cuts, and so that's a big number. That's a very serious number, and the UK economy is going to go and do it very hard over the next 5 and 10 years. Ireland, as you know, is a basket case yep. Completely, and that's having a big effect on financial markets, and the European community's got the jitters. Over in America, you've got Obama got creamed in the midterm elections and has now lost control of the lower house, so can't be a master of destiny of legislation. They've got 10% unemployment in statistical terms, but in real terms probably 15 to 20%, and they're doing it very hard. So all around the world there is uncertainty, and we've been able to keep it away from our shores for a long time.
Peter, there's been a lot of nervousness in the market. We've seen it in the property market. I'll get to the property in a minute, but I really want to keep on that global scene. What's the likely impact of all of this stuff? Like, you've been around the world, you've spoken to all these people.
Yep.
What's it mean to us?
What it means is I think the uncertainty will continue into the new year, because I think there will be some shocks to come. Portugal is a big issue after Ireland. It's almost the domino theory that we used to hear about in the good old days of the Vietnam War. Now we've got the financial domino theory. And of course, as you know, in financial markets, when somebody sneezes, everybody else reaches for the hanky. And that's one of the big problems for us. The bulwark against that is the fact that our commodity prices are going through the roof, and China and India, the great markets of the future, are still buoyant in that regard, and that may be sufficient to sandbag us against the tidal waves that may be operating elsewhere. But America still has a long way to go, and let's make no bones about it, it is the economic driver of the world, and it's by far the biggest economy in the world. So what it does is going to have a major impact.
Okay, so now let's start drilling down the effect on the dollar and the effect on the interest rates. What are your thoughts about interest rates? It looked with today's paper that we're okay, everything's going to be cool, a lot of pressure off, rates going up. What's your take on it?
We've always said at Business SA that interest rates are a very crude and rude way of dealing with economic vagaries, because you're using a sledgehammer and you crack the nut, and the nut may be a property boom in Sydney or a housing bubble in Perth, but when you apply interest rates nationally, everybody gets under the hammer, and we think the Reserve Bank has done it wrong for quite a while, and it's got the tendency to do that, overreact, because I think, Anthony, there is a two-speed economy in Australia. The resource-rich states, Queensland and Western Australia, are booming, but the states that rely on other productivities, Victoria, South Australia, New South Wales, are doing it tougher because they don't have that resource base to work on, and of course they're all equally affected by interest rates. So we hope the Reserve Bank puts it on hold. I think the Christmas period is going to be very tough for retailing in Australia, because we don't have the stimulus package that we had and enjoyed when the Rudd government was handing that out to prevent the contagion of the GFC Mark 1, and we don't have that now, and so it is going to be tougher, and so we'd want the Reserve Bank to hold off. But even more importantly, I think it's about time that the great Australian public got eye to eyeball and told the banks where to get off when they've been raising interest rates above, and I'm talking here the major banks, raising interest rates well above the RBA rate. That is unacceptable, and they should be held to account.
Peter, one more question, then we need to go to another part of the show, but and we'll come back for a couple of questions. But what's your take on property and the impact nationally of what's happening, what you've seen around the world?
Property market is tougher, but that means consumers and buyers have got great opportunities. It's taking longer to make sales. Consumers are holding back a bit, but there are great opportunities, therefore, to take advantage of that marketplace and utilise your ability to buy and purchase well to set yourself up for life.
Peter, I'm going to drill down on local real estate at the end of the show. Stay with us, and we'll be back in a minute. In the meantime, let's go and look at some property and behind the blinds.